EZZ is listed on the Australian Stock Exchange, and we have a mission to become a leading life science company in Asia Pacific and globally, improving the quality of life and human health by accelerating innovation to market of unique products. Next slide, please. We have a diverse product range. Our EZZ range, where we develop, formulate, produce, market and distribute health supplements under this brand. We have a deep understanding of our consumers, and it allows us to develop products that they require for their health and wellness needs. And you'll see there our top 3 products by revenue in the first half of FY24 was our NMN 155 milligram tablets, our lysine growth capsules, and our bone growth chews. We are also the exclusive distributor in Australia and New Zealand of the Aeron range of skincare products. And you'll see there the 3 top products by revenue for the first half of this fiscal year were the hyaluronic essence face mask, the hyaluronic acid essence, and our brightening mask. Next slide, please. Just some company highlights for you to consider. As I said, all of our products are scientifically formulated for fast-growing consumer markets. And when you look at and see our revenue growth figures, you'll see that they certainly are high-demand products. We have an omni-channel market strategy, direct to consumer primarily, optimised through our own strong in-house e-commerce capabilities. And I'll talk to you in much more detail about our various distribution channels in the next slides. We're in a strong financial position. We are profitable. We pay dividends to our shareholders. We have cash in the bank and we don't have any debt. We have an established client base throughout Asia Pacific, and this supplements our digital strategy, and this is growing exponentially. One of our really key attributes is our experienced management team. We have a management team that deeply understands this supplement business. They also understand the markets that we're in, and they have a great understanding and opportunities for the markets that we're looking into entering into in the near future. Again, we have multiple levers for growth opportunities, both in terms of our domestic markets here in Australia and New Zealand, and also our international markets. Next slide, please. Just some key data from our Q3 FY24 financial year, which for Australians ends in March. Receipts from customers was 23.6 million from the quarter, up 111% from the corresponding quarter in FY23. Our operating cash flow was just over $2 million, an increase of 300+% from the previous quarter. Our gross margin of our products is very strong and steady, where most of the products return us a gross margin of 70% plus. And we have $14.5 million in the bank, no external debt, and that was a 15% increase on the previous quarter. Next slide, please. Our development pipeline is another of our unique attributes. We in terms of product development, we are data-driven. We look at developing products that meet the needs of our consumers, and we're continuing and constantly talking to our consumers, finding out what products they're looking for. Our supply chain is very effective, and we spend a lot of time looking at both efficiency and transparency in terms of the suppliers. Manufacturing is a key to us. Manufacturing is a key to us. We manufacture all of our products in Australia under what's called GMP, or Good Manufacturing Practice. And where appropriate, all of our eligible products are registered with the Therapeutic Goods Administration here in Australia, the TGA. Again, I mentioned our in-house sales and marketing capability, second to none in the industry. Next slide, please. Next slide, thank you. We have extensive distribution capabilities. We're in over 600 chemists in Australia and New Zealand, and you'll see some of the key chains mentioned there. We're also in specialist and grocery retailers. Again, you'll see some of the key distributors for us noted there in Asia and in Australia. And we've got a increasing market presence in duty-free through LOT and DFS. But really, the gem in our distribution is our e-commerce platforms, where we have over 750 points. TikTok, Douyin, Tmall Global, Kaisho are increasing in terms of volumes through China and Asia. Our Pinduoduo business is growing exponentially. And in terms of Australia and New Zealand, you'll note that we do work through the e-commerce platforms of eBay and Amazon. Next slide, please. Again, highlighting the audited or the first half FY24 results. Revenue growth of 43% over the first half of FY23. Again, strong gross margin, cash in the bank. I mentioned previously that we had strong growth on both the Douyin and Tmall platforms, and our new platforms with Kaisho and Pinduoduo, our revenues are growing exponentially, and we're very pleased with them. We're building new distribution networks in 2 new geographies with Vietnam and through one of our existing distributors into Kuwait. But we're looking at expanding our distribution capabilities globally as we speak. We released 11 new products in the first half of FY24, and we'll continue to release new products both for the rest of this financial year and through into FY25. Next slide, please. This is both slides in terms of looking at our revenue mix on the left-hand side there, and you'll see the growth has been very strong in those e-commerce channels I mentioned in China. Our revenue by geography, well, China has just grown extremely well for us now some 72% of our total sales. Australia and New Zealand is still important to us, and we are growing our revenue in new geographies. I mentioned Vietnam, but you'll see some exciting new developments over the next 6 to 8 months in some new geographies for us. Next slide, please. So what's the outlook? Well, as far as we're concerned, it's more of the same. We will continue to drive our positive cash flows. Our revenue growth will continue to grow, and we'll continue to bring on new e-commerce marketplace partners. In fact, we released a statement to the ASX just this morning. We've just signed a 5-year agreement with a new distributor in Hong Kong called Pine Hills, and they have committed to $15 million worth of annual purchases per year over the minimum purchases over the 5-year agreement. As I said, we'll continue to release new products. The cash in the bank allows us to be very active in terms of acquisition opportunities, and you'll hear more from us in terms of both companies and product acquisitions as well over the next 12 months. Next slide, please. And that's our disclaimer as we have to provide being an ASX-listed company. So thank you very much for your time. We are great believers in the Chinese market. We have great business there, and I'm looking forward to talking to some of you in the future. So thanks, Tony.